Do you know about the man who found a way to win the lottery every single time?
Okay, it's impossible to win the lottery every single time.
Well, there's a real life story about a guy named Jerry and his wife Marge who actually found a way to win the lottery every single time.
Okay, who is this guy?
So this guy named Jerry lived in Michigan, and every morning he would wake up and he works at a factory for cornflakes, the cereal. But the one thing that Jerry had, which is really interesting, is that he had this talent that he was really good at math and he was really good at number patterns, and he could study things and understand things really well. And one day when Jerry went to work, his boss and all his employees thought he was getting too old for the job. So basically they forced him to retire, and if he didn't retire, they were going to fire him.
That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, and Jerry got really depressed because he had nothing to do, and he wanted to be a part of something still and still work. And after some time of being retired and doing nothing, he met with his accountant, and basically his accountant said like, hey, your retirement fund, like your account is doing really bad. You don't have much money. So later that day, Jerry went to the gas station and overheard like the worker talking to a customer about this thing called the roll down in the lottery.
What's a roll down?
So roll down is when the lottery's at a $2 million prize, and basically nobody got all 6 numbers correct. So it rolls down the winnings to the person that got 3 or 4 numbers correct. So basically the lottery, in order to win that week, all you have to do is get 3 or 4 numbers right.
You have way better chances to win then.
Exactly. So Jerry immediately got the lottery rules, and he starts writing down a formula to create a loophole, and this ends up becoming the biggest loophole in lottery history. So that day, Jerry goes to the bank and gets $8,000 out, and then he heads straight to the gas station, buys $8,000 worth of lottery tickets, and that night he looks at all his tickets and he sees all the winning numbers, and he actually wins $15,000. And he decides to get the $15,000, and he hides the money from his wife.
Why would he hide it?
I think he was scared that he was going to fail, and he didn't want his wife to know that he was using their retirement money for like gambling. But it turns out that his wife Marge was so excited that they could do something together, and that's like fun and gave them a purpose again. So the next day, Jerry and Marge go to the gas station together, and this time they buy $16,000 worth of tickets. And that night when they're staying in their hotel room, they look at all the numbers and they realize they just won $21,000 this time.
Oh, so the more they bought, the more they won.
Yeah, exactly. So what they do is they get the whole town involved, and everyone puts their money together, and they basically go in and buy large chunks of lottery tickets. So this time when they went to the gas station, they bought $40,000 worth of tickets, and that night they ended up winning $80,000. But this is when it starts to get a little weird. A newspaper company looked at all the public records of all the lottery winners, and they found that every 3 weeks that Jerry wins, and they thought it was really suspicious.
Wait, I totally forgot that the lottery winners are announced to the public.
Yeah, and this wasn't the biggest problem that Jerry and Marge had. There was actually a huge problem that was going on. So after the Harvard students actually found this loophole to win the lottery every single time, so they realized to hack into the lottery database, and they found that Jerry, like where he's located, and that's the store that always keeps winning, and they were upset about it.
What did they do?
So later that night when Jerry and Marge were like celebrating their anniversary, this kid named Tyler and Eric come to the gas station and basically threaten them and say like, hey, you guys should stop selling lottery tickets and join our group instead. And Jerry told the kid named Tyler, like, I don't want to work with you, we're good on our own. And that really upset Tyler. Basically he started like giving Jerry a hard time, and Jerry told him, look, you don't even know how to really do the lottery loophole correctly. He's like, I already saw what you guys are doing, and you're not even doing it right. So this made Tyler really angry and just stormed out of the store.
And Tyler's the kid from Harvard.
Yeah, and at this point, all the lottery workers knew that Jerry kept winning, but they didn't even care. They just said like, oh, it's obvious he's just getting lucky.
What?
Yeah, they didn't care at all. But later that day, Tyler ended up going up to Jerry again. And this time he threatened Jerry and said like, if you don't stop, we're gonna hack all your personal data, your identity, and we're just gonna ruin your life.
Dude, just leave Jerry alone. Let him live his life.
So Jerry got really scared, and he just said, you know what, you're right. So he tells everybody in the town, hey guys, I feel like we gotta quit this. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I feel like it's unsafe, so let's just disband.
What a way to end the story.
No, so Jerry's wife convinces him, don't quit. So Jerry's like, okay, let's not quit. This time we're gonna even buy more tickets. But Jerry had this realization, and he went down to Harvard, and he talked to Tyler and all his friends, and he said, look, you do realize that Tyler is stealing money from all you guys, and he's just scamming you. So all the students were like, felt really betrayed by Tyler, and basically they said, screw Tyler.
Dude, Jerry's a savage.
Yeah, so Jerry and his wife ended up going to the lottery headquarters and talked to all the executives of the lottery and said like, hey, I feel like this loophole is kind of unfair to the average person, and we just want it to be more fair for everyone.
So they basically snitched on themselves.
Yeah, and the lottery executives didn't even care. They even told Jerry, you doing this like loophole actually makes the profits go higher because people hear that you're winning a lot and they want to go try to like win money too. So basically Jerry and the rest of the town did one last lottery. They won huge, and then Tyler ends up getting kicked out of Harvard. Everyone lives happily ever after, and that's the story.
Dude, good for Jerry and his wife, man.